quarterback block, and that's
the guy that rolls his body around.
Mike Drop Sports. Steel City Live.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to our live show. We appreciate you for diving in here on a Sunday and a Pittsburgh Steelers pregame show. We are diving in against the Bengals here on a Sunday, and this is week 11 of the NFL season as the Pittsburgh Steelers cannot afford to go 5-5. They cannot afford to do it, man. This would be absolute catastrophic failure if the Pittsburgh Steelers go 5-5, in my opinion. It's catastrophic failure. It's time to sound the alarm. It's time to make sure that you are sounding the panic button, in my opinion. Panic if you go 5-5. You cannot go 5-5. So the panic button got to be hit, and the Pittsburgh Steelers cannot do it. They cannot have this go on, and it would just be total failure, total catastrophic failure for the Pittsburgh Steelers to have that happen here in week 11. So let's dive into the chat. We appreciate you for diving in with us. Tom Ford in the chat. What's up, Jason, and the rest of the Mic Drop Mafia? What's up, man? Good to see you, Tom. Ain't no party like a Diddy party, Ford. I remember that. Have you heard the rumors Mike Tomlin might get traded or leave the Steelers? I've heard that for so long. I just don't see it, man. I'll believe it when I see it, Tom. It's one of those things, brother. It's one of those things that's just you never know until it happens. We can all speculate as much as we would like, but it is what it is. Tom says, I doubt this will happen, but boy, would this make me happy. It would make me happy too. And I'm not saying Mike Tomlin's some horrific coach, because that's not reality. He's not a horrific coach. Things just run their course, guys, sometimes. Things just literally aren't not simpatico anymore. Things just got to change sometimes. Sometimes you got to take a different direction. You can't continue to do the same things over and over and expect a different result and expect things to change. That's insanity. And the Steelers got to quit being insane. And Mike Tomlin's got to quit being insane. It's time now for the Steelers to maybe think about some of those things. But I will say this. The tune changes if the Pittsburgh Steelers come out of week 11 6-4. The tune starts to change if Mike Tomlin takes this football team and they get back on a roll and they get that lead built back up inside of the AFC North. They start to look like they are competitive again. Things change. Winning cures everything. And we have to always realize that. Things will be said in a lot different light. Things will be spread around that are much different. It'll be, how much longer can Mike Tomlin continue this success? That's what you'll hear. But they go 5-5 today. The bell rings louder to get Mike Tomlin up out of the city of Pittsburgh after nearly 2 decades at the helm. I think he wants to definitely be there for the 2 decades, and I think that's what he's aiming for. I think he wants to end up being down in Steelers history as the longest tenured head coach. However, I think Super Bowl's got to accompany that to make it worth being talked about as the best Steelers head coach if he wants to be in that conversation. He has to have championships. You have Chuck Noll with 4, Mike Tomlin with 1, Bill Cowher with 1. Who can get that next Super Bowl? That's who starts to get up there toward Chuck Noll. But I think nobody ever overtakes Chuck Noll unless you can get those 4 Super Bowls. Chuck Noll won games, man. Yes, different era. Yes, different time, man. Football was completely different at that time, but it is what it is. If you want to overtake Chuck Noll, you need to have those championships on your resume. And Mike Tomlin thus far only has 1. Another Wombat in the house. We will see what happens. Absolutely. And they need to lean in on the basics, another Wombat. They got to lean in on that run game today. It's the best player on their football team got to see the field more than 14 carries in a game. He has to be involved. You look at some of the things that we're going to talk about today. concerning the Cincinnati Bengals. And you talk about the Cincinnati Bengals and the rush defense. You talk about that. Let me bring your comment down so we can see that. Um, you talk about the Cincinnati Bengals and their rush defense here in 2025 versus the run and rush defense in 2025. They're giving up 166.4 yards, ranking last in the National Football League in yards per game. Yards per game, they are giving up tons, 5.5 yards per carry. That ranks 31st in the National Football League right now. And the Cincinnati Bengals are reeling in terms of their defense. No doubt about it. You look at the Cincinnati Bengals and their pass defense also. That's a 104.8 rate. That's 26th in the National Football League right now. That's 260.1 yards per game. That ranks 30th in the National Football League. 11.7 yards per catch. That's 29th in the National Football League. And they have given up 23 touchdowns, which ranks 32nd in the National Football League. Their defense is bad, really bad. But there is a flip side to the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde Cincinnati Bengals. They can score and score in bunches. So how do the Steelers combat that? How do the Steelers combat getting the Bengals in terms of their high scoring offense, taking advantage of the high or low scoring or high scoring defense also, that they can score a lot of points against that defense? It's utilize Jaylen Warren and those tight ends. Yeah, you got them all this summer. You went out and you built that tight end room into a massive, supposedly a key part of your offense. You went out there and you did everything you could to build that tight end room. Utilize the tight ends, run the football. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to throw for a gazillion yards. But what happens when you run the football? You open up the pass game. You allow Aaron Rodgers to be able to hit those big splash plays. And that is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Pittsburgh Steelers today. If I'm a doctor and I'm writing a prescription for the Pittsburgh Steelers in order to get right, it is run the football with Jaylen Warren, run it down the defense's throat this week and here in week 11 at home. It's take the game over. Keep Joe Flacco and that offense on the fucking sideline. That's how you win. Mike Tomlin can't get out of that today. Arthur Smith can't get out of that today. Run the damn ball, Mike. Run the damn ball, not with Kenneth Gainwell or Caleb Johnson. Jaylen motherfucking Warren. Run the damn ball, Mike. That's what you got to do. And if the Steelers don't do that, they are stupid as shit. Run the damn ball. I can't be any more clear about that today. Forgive me, but I am excited about it. And the Pittsburgh Steelers got to take advantage of having a goddamn beast in the backfield in Jaylen Warren. Let's look at some of Jaylen Warren's statistics here. Week 10, 70 rushing yards, 50 yards per carry, 21 receiving yards. No other Pittsburgh player with 36 plus yards on the fucking team, guys. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Jaylen Warren is that guy. He needs to be involved. Also, 90 yards, basically, 91 yards in all-purpose yardage for Jaylen Warren. And that is guys on minimal carries. So that is Jaylen Warren's story. You look at the Steelers offensively and the old one, Aaron Rodgers, 10 points, 2-11 on third down, 1 red zone trip, 25 plus points previous in 3 games. Where did the Steelers offense go Sunday night against the Chargers? You can't blame the Pittsburgh Steelers offense or defense for that loss. They gave up 3 field goals. That was 9 points. They gave up a safety, which wasn't the defense's fault. That's 11 points out of those that was given up, and they were on the field a absolute shit ton in Los Angeles. You look at Aaron Rodgers' Week 10 performance. Horrible. 50.6 rating. 161 yards and a touchdown. Not to mention the 2 interceptions. You can say whatever you want, but they were inter-fucking-ceptions, guys. 2025, Aaron Rodgers, 18 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, a 97.2 rating for the immortal one, Aaron Rodgers. Can he get back on track today? And the answer is yes. but it has to be through the Pittsburgh Steelers run game. It has to happen here in Pittsburgh today. If the Steelers want to right this season and get this season back on track, it comes with what? Getting on track today in Pittsburgh at home against the divisional rival. That's what you got to do today in week 11. Let's get back to the chat after my rant. Danny George, gonna be a damn good game or a damn good show. You're right about that. It's gonna be a damn good show. Good to see you, Danny freaking George, my main man. My Floyd is pink 7-9. What's up, Jason? Happy Sunday. Is there a possibility we might see Will Howard if A-Rod falls flat today? I'll give you my answer, and the answer is no. No. Do they have him listed as the second quarterback, guys? That's the question. If Will Howard's listed as the number two, you maybe you see him late in the game. But if he is listed as the third, the emergency quarterback, you will not see him. It is not going to happen. That's my answer. So make sure you guys look it up and see. Is he listed as the one? Is he listed as the two or the three? That's the only way you could really tell the tale there. Keep Flacco off the field from Challenger. Good to see you, Challenger. Absolutely. Keep him off the field. Keep him off the field. Big JD in the house. Let me catch up on the chat, and we're going to go through Joe Flacco. What's up, Big JD? Silent Flow 0. Oh shit, bro, is live. Absolutely best damn show on YouTube, on the fucking planet, right here. Mike Drop Sports. We appreciate it. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that hype button. If you're not subscribed, do so. And the people that, if I don't go freaking live every day, that you unsubscribe, I see who that is that keeps unsubscribing and subscribing. I can see. Quit doing it. It drives me bonkers. If you don't want to be part of Mike Drop Sports, don't fucking be part of Mike Drop Sports. I don't care. But the people that want to have good football conversation, the door is always open right here at Mike Drop Sports. We love having you, Tom Ford. The only problem is Will Howard is the third. Absolutely, Tom. Good football knowledge there, buddy. That's how we got to look at it, guys. If he's ranked 2 or 3, we got to see where is he put on that depth chart. Big Challenger says Steelers better get their shit together. If not, these guys should be playing for their jobs, coaches included. Absolutely. Amen. 1,000%. Time to clean house. 2026 is your opportunity. Opportunity. Daniel James in the house. He says, Jay, my man, what's going on? The one thing I hate the most when Mike is coaching a piss poor game and looking on the sideline at his piss poor face. Body language is everything, Daniel. Everything. I say it all the time. Nobody wants to hear me. They think it's bullshit. They think it's just whatever, that I'm just talking out my ass. Well, guess what? Body language is everything. Aaron Rodgers looked like a damn bum last week with his body language. Did he not? Did he not? And the performance showed 161 yards, 2 interceptions, and a tutty. That's it. Body language. He looked like shit. Every time something happened, you seen his lips. He bitched and bitched and bitched, and he can't do that. That's not leadership. Yeah, you ride the ass of guys that do shit piss poor. I get it. But you don't do it on national TV walking off the field. You go to the sideline, you sit down, you tell them to come here, you look at them, you keep them close, and you tell them, get your damn shit together. You don't embarrass people through your bullshit mouth on the football field, coming off of it on primetime television. You don't do it. Tom Ford in the house says the Bengals and every team in the AFC North play the Steelers hard. It's their Super Bowl. It's their Super Bowl. Beating the Pittsburgh Steelers is their Super Bowl. The Bengals know they ain't making the playoffs this year. They know they ain't going to be close to making the playoffs. So what are they going to do? They're going to go out there and try to beat the shit out of the Steelers. Like, share, and subscribe if you're not already. Make sure you're hitting that hype button. Share the show. Like it up. Do all those good things for us here on Mike Drop Sports. We appreciate it. Let's take a peek at some of those statistics for one. Joseph Flacco, since coming to the Bengals in his 4 games, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in 4 games with the Cincinnati Bengals, 100 plus rating last 3 games, That is Joe Flacco right now. Keep him off the field. Otherwise, he will dismantle you. He has the weapons in T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Chase Brown had his best game of the season against the Cincinnati Bengals. Otherwise, they can't run the football. They throw it, though, all over the damn yard. Steelers, keep everything in front of you. Don't allow the big play. Keep everything in front of you and be heavy hitters this week. Do not allow those guys to get cheap shit. Make them pay for every time they catch the ball. I don't care if the flag is thrown. Light their bitch ass up. That's what I'm saying. Let's get to some more Bengals offensive statistics here. In 33-point games, 3 straight games, 33 points for the Cincinnati offense here in 2025. That is absolutely an amazing statistic because you don't see that in the city of Pittsburgh. We did that already. We talked about that. Chase Brown. Let's get to Chase Brown's statistics right now. In 2025, he's only averaging 3.9 yards per carry, 46.7 yards per game, and he only has 2 touchdowns, 22.3 receiving yards, averaging that per game. And guess who his best game was against? Yeah, you guessed it, the Steelers. Can the Steelers limit Chase Brown? Can they limit Joe Flacco? It's called a simple formula. Keep his ass off the fucking field. Guys, I'm fired up today. Why? Because the Pittsburgh Steelers can't go out there and lay an egg and come out of this game 5-5. They can't do it. Let's get back to the chat. Challenger says they think they are. Talking Burrow coming back next week. They got a prayer in heaven to make it into the playoffs. They're not good enough. Their defense is absolute dog shit. Say they do make it to the playoffs. Who cares? They can't win. They can't win. They have no defense. They can't win. What they should do is do the damn Steelers a favor and just lay down and die today. So the team that can make the playoffs gets back on track. The team that does have defense can get back on track. Do us a favor. Do us a solid. Abso-freaking-lutely stop Jamar Chase. My question, though, isn't today, guys. My question today is this. My question is today. Do we hit the panic button in the city of Pittsburgh if they lose? Do we hit the panic button? That is the question I am asking you guys today. Is it time to panic if the Pittsburgh Steelers lose today? Let's go in to Challenger. Can't afford to get in a shootout. Take advantage of the Bengals shit defense. Abso-freaking-lutely, dude. Absolutely. We got one coming in, guys. And we truly appreciated a super chat coming in. Nameless current. Coming in with a super chat. Is Broderick Jones issue? Is Broderick Jones the issue? Is his issue the same as Kevin Dotson's / coaching? Possibly. You could be onto something, no doubt. I don't like Pat Meyer. I think Pat Meyer is not a good line coach in the National Football League, if you ask me. I think that there is a lot of situations that have shown that. But I do think this of Broderick Jones. I think Broderick Jones needs to benefit from a good, solid run game in terms of handing the ball off to Jaylen Warren. They're not doing that, guys. They're not doing that. Jaylen Warren has, 14 yards or 14 carries per game. That's not enough, guys. Everybody talks about Aaron Rodgers and his ability to be able to utilize the play action pass. You can't utilize the play action pass if you can't run the ball, or you don't run the ball consistently. We bitched about it last year when they ran Najee 100,000 times. This year, they need to be running the ball, and they won't do it. But good question. I just don't think I think Broderick Jones is a combination of his inability to be able to utilize his brain out there. I think he relies on brute strength far too much. And I think that he needs to utilize his technique and his brain and his understanding of the game in order to beat some of these top shelf type guys. He allows guys that aren't top shelf to beat him. And that's where Broderick Jones got to come into play. I think it's a combination. I think Pat Meyer has failed Broderick Jones. I think the Steelers have failed Broderick Jones. But I think the Broderick Jones has failed the Steelers too. I think it's a two-way street here, guys. I don't think there is a simple answer to it. Now, maybe he goes somewhere else and becomes really, really good. But you just don't know. You just don't know. It's almost impossible to tell if Broderick Jones is a non-benefactor from having or a benefactor of having bad coaching, or if he goes somewhere else, will he do good? That's the only way to see, and until you see that, you don't know. Or maybe he just starts to do better with the Steelers. There's no way to truly evaluate it unless you see him on a different ball club. Roberta Campbell in the house. Good morning, everyone. Good to see you. Good to see you, Roberta. Daniel Warman in the house. What's he saying? Whatever head coach loses this game needs to be fired. So should the winning coach. Daniel says, I'm ready to clean house both sides of the football here today in the Bengals Steeler game. Good to see you, man. Yeah, I'm tired of Tomlin. I don't know enough about Zach Taylor to give you a fair assessment there on whether or not he should be fired. But here's the real situation in Cincinnati. He got a tremendous offense, and he's doing really, really good. You can't stop anybody. And yeah, you can blame the head coach for that too, no doubt. But you got to have some players there. You got to spend some money there. You got to be willing to invest there a little bit. They've totally non-invested there, and they went out there in the draft this year and get a guy like Shamir Stewart that I thought was one of the worst tacklers. That was a player that was drafted in the first round. He couldn't tackle anybody. He probably couldn't tackle me. So I feel like they definitely missed the mark on defense, and I think that's the only thing hurting the Bengals right now. They have special teams, they have a good offense, regardless of who's quarterback, but yet they can't win games. They're scoring 33 plus points a game, and they're getting beat. You can't play that way. You can't win that way. And yes, they need to fix that. Challenger, absolutely. If they lose, season is over. Maybe not mathematically, but they are toast in my eyes. I think you might be right. Oh my goodness, guys, we are rolling today here on Steel City Live. Like, share, subscribe, all that good shit. We truly appreciate it. Man, I've been on fire today. I need Sean. Sean, you need to come on. Use your link and jump in. I'll fit you on the screen, baby. Tom Ford, I have a feeling Roman Wilson will have a good game. I hope, man. I hope. We need to see it. Daniel Warman, Justin Fields racked up over 500 yards of offense. Our defense sucks. And that's your only deficiency, Daniel. That's the bad part. You're a Bengals fan, and you're watching them every week, and you're seeing them do so many special things, record-breaking things offensively, but yet you can't win games. That doesn't make sense at all. Silent flow. He says, we said the same thing about Kevin Dotson, and then he leaves and becomes a Pro Bowler. Yeah, and that's the thing, Silent, no doubt. You just don't know until you see him in a different uniform, starting and playing. You just can't ever evaluate it. And that's the really difficult thing about it when you're talking about whether or not you should bring Broderick Jones even back. My next Steelers jersey is Peyton Wilson. Hashtag 4-1. Let's go, baby. Challenger, even if the Steelers win, Tomlin isn't off the hook. I agree. What the product that he's put out there over the last 3 or 4 games here, the Steelers have lost 3 out of their last 4, guys. It's not good. It's not good. That's the slide that everybody talks about inside of every season that Mike Tomlin's the head coach. I've been pissed off at this team all week. Angry. Me too, man. Then here are the Steelers, are the highest paid defense, and we aren't playing up to the money spent. Guys, it wasn't the defense fault last week, Roberta. It was not. You can't blame anything on that defense last week. You can't. There's nothing. The offense sputtered. They put up 10 points. That's it. The offense at the beginning of that game was getting them, or the defense was getting them off the field. The defense was putting the ball into the Steelers' offense hands. They were giving them opportunities to take control of that game. But guess what happened? They got hung out to dry every damn series, left out on that field over and over and over. You can't win that way. The Steelers have the opposite problem of what the Bengals have. The Steelers' offense is sputtering and sputtering in a big way, and their defense has actually played winnable football. They played winning football over the last several weeks. But the Bengals, on the other hand, have played amazing offense, but they haven't played winnable game or winnable football on the defensive side. So this is the tale of two different teams that basically are struggling on one side of the ball right now, and it's killing both of them. It's causing losses, and it's today's message that needs to be said is which team is going to be able to overcome that? Which team is going to be able to play a complete game? And you don't even have to play a complete game. Literally, the Steelers defense needs to play exactly how they've been playing. Keep them under 30 points today. And the Steelers offense play a normal game, and they win. They win. If they can play a game where Aaron Rodgers has 250, two tugs, no interceptions, and Jaylen Warren has 100 yards, they win this game hands down. They win it going away. If that's the statistics you see, they win this game hands down. And I will give you my score prediction, and you might not like it today, as the Pittsburgh Steelers face at home in Acrisure Stadium these Cincinnati Bengals in Week 11 here, and it is going to be a big game, a big game. Let's go back to Roberta. She says, "Oh, I'm not blaming the defense for last week. They just haven't played a full game most of the season. It seems like not a complete team. I believe the biggest problem is coaching or lack of coaching." And you're right, Roberta. This isn't a complete team whatsoever. And that is the problem. They haven't played a complete game minus the Colts game. That was a complete game. They played well. That was a team win. I felt like they played well against the New England Patriots. I felt like that was a team win. I felt like those are the two biggest team wins. I feel like the Vikings game was, you left a lot to be desired there offensively. But definitely, I think the two team wins that you can really look at this season were the Colts and the Patriots games. Those were the games that you actually saw the Steelers play a complete game in totality. And I'm talking all four phases, if you ask me. Coaching being one, offense, defense, special teams. Four phases of football, guys. You always hear three phases. That's a lie. It's four phases of football: coaching, offense, defense, and special teams. All four phases got to work in a cohesive way. That's how it gets done. All right, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button, share button, subscribe button here on our live Pittsburgh Steelers pregame show. I'm your host, Jason, as always, here on Mike Drop Sports. We appreciate you for driving through here on a Sunday as the Steelers in Week 11 face off against the Bengals here, and it's going to be a big one. Let's keep going through the chat. Challenger, I've been defending Rodgers. He hasn't been the problem, although he was god-awful last week. If he has another of his poor performance today, then that's a problem. Yeah, two in a row, really, really bad. Yeah, that starts to be concerning, and maybe you do want to see Will Howard after that. Let's just say this, guys. The Steelers do lose today. They lose again next week. I think it is time to blow it up and allow Will Howard to maybe see what he got. Because let's face the facts. You are not going to make the playoffs if you have more than 6 losses. I don't think you're going to make it with 7 losses. I think 7 losses in the AFC this year, I think, might be a little bit too much. Maybe you do, but 7 would be the absolute max that you're going to make the playoffs this year in the AFC, in my opinion. 7 losses will probably be about it. All right, guys, I want to see some score predictions from you guys today. I want you to throw them in there. Let everybody see what you're thinking is going to happen against the Cincinnati Bengals today in Week 11. Do the Steelers come out 5-5, or do they come out 6-4? That's the big question. There's a vast difference between those two numbers, 2 sets of numbers. I agree with that, but 2 complete games out of 10 weeks, not good or a formula for winning. And I say, though, Tomlin is here for at least 2 more years. Yeah, I don't see it, Tomlin going anywhere until I see him get fired or move on or traded or whatnot. I don't believe it. So it is what it is. So yeah, I agree, and that isn't enough, Roberta. That isn't enough. Let's get to a super super chat here on Mike Drop Sports from our main man, JD. Offense, defense, special teams, and coaching. Let's get it together. Absolutely. And it starts at the top, JD. Mike Tomlin's got to get this football team back together. He's got to figure it out, man. He's got to get it together. And unfortunately for Mike Tomlin, I don't know how you continue to be mediocre this year and expect to keep a job. I really don't. I don't know how the Steelers continue to overlook it. I just don't. And I'm not saying you go out there and fire him, JD, but I am saying this. You got to nudge him out the door if this is the case. I mean, mediocrity can't be the standard anymore. You know, people love Tomlin. And again, I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he is bad right now. I'm saying situational football has plagued him for years. I am saying that. But I'm saying overall, I think he's a solid coach. But I think the course or the time has run its course here for him in the city of Pittsburgh. I think the message is stale. I think the ability for him to continue to build a solid roster that's competitive in the playoffs has passed him by. I think it's just that issue, man. That Mike Tomlin is definitely falling away, falling apart as the Steelers head man. Tom Ford, unfortunately, I make Tom want to take out Aaron Rodgers unless Aaron Rodgers wants to come out or get hurt. Yeah, you won't see it, man. Aaron, I don't see Aaron giving up at all, but I'm just saying when it becomes mathematically stupid to continue to play, I don't know how you continue that down that path, in my opinion. Some score predictions coming in. Silent Flow, he's going 24-20. Cincy. Daniel Warman coming in, going against his Bengals, 35-17. Steelers from our friend Daniel. ELV verse EL. Prediction 30-27 Steelers. Good scores, guys. Good scores. You're around where I'm at right now. JD 34-17 Steelers. A lot of 30 pointers for the Steelers. I like it. Tom Ford coming in saying 17-13 Steelers. I don't know if I see the Bengals only putting 13 points up. That's the bad part about this game. Challenger. Some Steelers fans want to point the blame all at Rodgers because they hate him. But the defense, O line, and coaching. There's a lot of variables, Charger. A lot of variables, Challenger. Sorry, I said your name wrong. But yeah, a lot of variables at play here. It's not one particular thing. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has been the big issue. 18 touchdown passes to 7 interceptions here this season. That's, you know, we don't really aren't really used to seeing 18 touchdown passes from a Steelers quarterback. Let's be honest about that. Roberta, let's face it, Tomlin would have not lasted 19 years with any other team with just being average. Absolutely not. And the Steelers definitely are loyal sometimes to a fault, no doubt about it. Andrew Man in the house. Since he can't win, we always beat each other once. The football gods won't allow Cincinnati to win. He is definitely going there. Let's keep going. I don't believe that, Andrew. I don't. You see the coaching carousel. Name one team that would keep him. Name one that would keep somebody that can't win for 19 years, that hasn't won a playoff game in over a decade. Name one team that would allow that to happen because I don't see any. I've seen him fire coaches so much. I just do. Let's keep going. Let me get a drink, guys. Shit, I've been going hard. Yeah, but Andrew, where does that get you? No playoff wins over the last decade? None. And if they do get in the playoffs, it's a first round exit. They're always on a losing streak to enter the playoffs. They've barely been competitive. Yeah, you can talk about the wins. It's because they've just been average. I just don't think that that's good enough. I don't think that should be the standard. I just don't. 27-24 Steelers from Challenger. Talk to Texas failing me. It always fails me, bro. Chuck Dugan, 28-17. That's from Chuck Dugan, 1674. Let's keep going. Tom says he changes his prediction. I changed my prediction to 21-17 Steelers. That's from our friend Tom. He changed his up. EL versus EL. Last week was Rodgers' worst game. It's behind us. Let's move on. I mean, the Dolphins whooped the Bills. Yeah, and any given Sunday, I'll give you that. No doubt about it. And sometimes you do need to just flush shit and move on. Absolutely. I agree with that. Um, but I think we can't overlook some of the obvious. And I think some of the obvious has to be fixed. And I think it becomes a real issue, you know? Bubba Gaming 710 says, the standard is 500, and that standard is subpar for me. I'm just not about that. Black and Gold, our friend Black and Gold 36 in the house. I've lost all belief in this coaching staff. I only feel like we're only going to get wins depending on our players want to. I hate to say, but they seem like some players are out on the coaches. Yeah, and definitely, guys, when you see 3 out of 4 losses, 3 out of 4 games losses, they beat at that time the best team in the league in the Indianapolis Colts. That was the moment that you thought things were going to get back together. But the Steelers have yet again lost 3 out of 4 games, and that's what starts to happen. The belief starts to go away. It starts to bleed through to the players. The players start to have bad body language. The media starts to really dig in, man, and it just starts to snowball. And that's why you got to right the ship here today. And I think the medicine for that is running the football. There's 28 teams that would take Tomlin right now, just like Red when he left Philly. And that's fine. I'm all about it. Take him. I think sometimes things run their course, Andrew. That's what I'm saying. And again, I'm not sitting here bashing Mike and saying he's some horrible coach. I'm not. I am saying that things run their course, and sometimes it's time for change. And just because somebody else would want him, what bearing does that have on the Pittsburgh Steelers keeping him? How does that make the Steelers situation any better? It doesn't. That's the thing, guys. You got to not be blinded by one thing or another. You got to look at the overall picture. You got to look at all the variables. And that's where a lot of fans go wrong. That's where they go wrong, is getting blinded by some of these statistics, man. It's not all about statistics. It's about feel. It's about feeling the game, guys. This game is about feel. This game is a highly emotional game. There's a couple things in life that are real emotional type sports. Football is probably one of the most emotional. And then you look at something like wrestling, things like that. Those are highly emotional games. You know what I mean? And the emotions come into play, man. And you get on win streaks when you start to feel it. You know what I mean? You overcome a lot. You overcome some deficiencies when you start to feel it. Silent Flow says, let me see what he said. Why did they pay DK like he was a number one? Pickens was more of a number one than DK, my opinion. And am I wrong? I think you're wrong. I think DK is a number one. I think DK is better than George Pickens. I think DK has a proven track record, and I think DK is way less of a head case than George Pickens. And I think that was George Pickens' problem, being such a head case. I think that's what caused him his issues. I think if he could ever get it together in terms of being right in the head and translate that onto the football field to be a leader and show that, I think George Pickens could have a tremendous career. But until that day, I think that he is his own worst enemy. And I think that's what ended George Pickens in the city of Pittsburgh. Pickens was toxic in the locker room. No team wants that. Yeah, I mean, teams will take him because he's a good talent. But once he wears his welcome out, it's over. EL says DK doesn't get the targets. I beg to differ. I think he gets force fed the football sometimes. And I think that that's a problem. I think it needs to happen organically, EL. I think that is maybe some of the Steelers' issues in terms of the pass game. I talk about it every week, and I've yet to see it, EL. What I want to see from the Steelers. And that is a rhythmic passing game from the pocket from Aaron Rodgers. You're not seeing those 2-3 step drops and delivering the football in that short to intermediate middle of the field game. And that's where the Steelers are really lacking there. in terms of the pass game. But again, I think if you run the football effectively, especially today against the Bengals, I think a lot of those things open up in terms of the play action pass. I think it's a real simple formula. I think fixing the Steelers offense is absolutely elementary in terms of fixing it. And it's the run game, guys. When the Steelers run the ball effectively, they can win. That is what gives Aaron Rodgers that mojo. That's what will give Aaron Rodgers the ability to go downfield and make big plays. Whew, man, am I hurting today? Black and gold 36. We lost the last six to close out our season, and it only replays in their minds because it's the same results every season. And he has to go. We gave Cower an endless rope, and he's had multiple losing seasons. Yeah, guys, we'll see what happens after today. Cincy is second yards per play, fourth points scored since Flacco, and the Steelers are 1-3 and 20th in yards per play. Yeah, I put all those statistics up earlier, Silent Flow. You're right, and definitely it's concerning. Yeah, and I don't blame you. I'm going to give you guys my score prediction here in a second once I catch up in the chat. Black and gold. I hope we play better in the secondary today. We can't let them yards after catch all over our field. Absolutely, you can't. But I think it's that zone that's got to be played, keeping things in front of you, playing aggressive man on certain players. I think it's got to be a lot of combination coverages, keeping things in front of you, and I think you really need to pressure Joe Flacco. But guess what? He will stand in there. I think what you need to do to Joe Flacco in order to make him unsuccessful is to flush him from the pocket, get him out on the run, and make him make plays with his legs. That's what you do to an old guy like Joe Flacco. Don't allow him to be comfortable inside of the pocket. Don't allow Chase Brown to get going. Don't allow that play action pass to be able to start to bite. That's what you got to do to Flacco. We talk about it all the time. Force people up inside of the pocket for young guys. I think that's the way to contain young, fresh legs, athletic guys. And I like when you have older quarterbacks to force them to the edge. What was that? JD, for first down early, for a third down conversion. Thank you. JD coming in with a super chat. We appreciate you, my friend. They got to run the ball first, second down, in my opinion, today. I think it's got to be consistent, JD. Absolutely. I think that's what they got to do. And I think defensively, I think the simple formula is there too. Again, guys, I think fixing this team, and JD says for third down conversions, they got to be better third down conversions, guys. They've been pathetic on third down conversions. But to fix this team, it's very simple, guys. I'm telling you, it is very simple. People want to reinvent the wheel out there in the media world and talking about how the Steelers got to be fixed, how they need to be fixed, what has to go into it in order for them to be better. It's not a reinvention of the wheel here, guys. It is absolutely not. It's not. It is all about the simple fundamental things. And that's why the thumbnail today says, get back and lean into the basics. Get into the basics. Lean into the fundamentals. Run the football. It's simple, guys. It's very, very simple. Roberta Campbell coming in. Thank you again to JD. We appreciate you. I do look at full picture. Changing too much is bad, but there is also overstaying. And that is where the Steelers are with Tomlin. He has overstayed his tenure. Tomlin needs a new challenge and a team to coach. I agree with you, Roberta. I agree with you 1,000%. Tom Ford, I'm not saying Tomlin is a bad coach either, but he is a bad coach for the Steelers. Besides the non-losing seasons, what has he done? That's exactly, you sum it up perfectly there, Tom. No doubt about it. He's not a bad coach, but he's a bad coach for the Steelers. And that is true. Sometimes things don't fit anymore, guys. You can't continue to try to put a square peg into a round hole. Bubba Gaming 710. If since he puts up 35 points, we will struggle. The Steelers lose if the Cincinnati Bengals score over 30, guys, just to let you know. The only thing is if the Steelers have an offensive explosion, which I think, honestly, if the Cincinnati Bengals score 30 plus points, I think the probability of the Pittsburgh Steelers losing increases tremendously to like 90 to 95% that the Pittsburgh Steelers lose that game. The Cincinnati Bengals, again, guys, in the last 3 games have scored 33 plus points, but have lost the teams in absolute shootouts. Black and gold. Yes, I agree. We need to establish the run. We can't allow Arthur to run two running plays and then pass until the third, or or to run again three times and then pass our last drive. Absolutely, it's got to be a good balance. But get that run game going, guys, and I'm telling you, good things are going to happen. It's going to open things up, and they got to have that rhythmic passing that I've been talking about for a long time, guys. I've been talking about that over and over, and it hasn't changed for me. If you can run the ball, you're going to be able to allow Aaron Rodgers to get in a rhythmic pass game, a rhythm, getting back, dropping, hitting that back foot, third step, and delivering the football. It has to happen. When I was watching Steve Smith Sr. show, ADB coaches um, told them DK is one trick pony. He only has three routes. Maybe. I still think he's very good, though. I do. I'm not going to knock DK. I think DK's been good for the Steelers this year. He has some drops, no doubt about it, Silent. And you may be right. He may be really limited on his route tree, you know. But I look at DK as a guy that, yes, he's a number one, but definitely a guy that I think you don't need to force feed the football to. I think where DK thrives is if he has a good supporting cast, and then you can hit DK for the big plays. And I think that's where the Steelers lack. Awesome point, Jason. I'm hoping Warren gets 20 plus carries. I think 20 to 25 carries today, EL, in my opinion, and I think I agree with you absolutely. 20, 25 carries. I think that is absolutely ideal. But on the other hand, here, I want to see Aaron Rodgers have 20 to 25 passing attempts also. I don't want to see it get too out of whack either way. I think that balance got to stay there today in order to keep that Bengals offense off the field. They got a lead in time of possession by major numbers today. That is the only way the Steelers come out of this game victorious. Tom Ford, the Steelers should have picked up number two wide receiver at the trade deadline in order for DK to be open more. I agree, Tom. I think that was a grave mistake. And again, you guys know me. You guys that have watched the channel all summer long, you heard me say it. I thought the Steelers were fine. I didn't think they needed to go get another guy. But my tune changed. And when the deadline came around, I said they had to get another wide receiver then. And they didn't. And I thought that was a grave mistake. And who's to blame for that? Is it Rooney? Is it Khan? Is it Tomlin? Who's to blame? Is it a combination of the three? I think Rooney K-bossed it. That's what I think. Thank you again to JD for his second super chat of the day. Another nice big super chat. We appreciate that here on the channel more than you ever know. Challenger says Cower was pretty close to being fired in the late 90s, but they fired Donahoe instead. Yeah, I'm sure there's always definitely been some close calls for Coach Cower too, because he had some tough times. But Coach Cower was a lot more consistent in terms of playoff wins than Mike Tomlin. You saw Coach Cower's team consistently be in the AFC Championship game, winning the divisional round, and et cetera, et cetera. You saw that Cower was close a lot. All right, guys, I'm getting kind of bogged down here, man. I've been talking way too much. So I'm going to back up out of here. I'm going to give you my score prediction first. And I got to write it down here because it comes to my head as I write it down. All right. I got it. I got it, guys. I got it. Hold on. I'm changing it. I got to write it down. I always write it down as I feel it. You're not going to like this, guys. I predict the Pittsburgh Steelers lose today, 38-24. I think that they lose today in a game that's going to frustrate the hell out of you. I do. I think the Bengals win today, 38-24. I do think that there is an outside puncher's chance, though, that score absolutely flips into the Steelers' favor. But right now, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals, 38-24 over the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 11. And I think that that's how this all ends. And I hate to say it, but that's it. Black and Gold says 30-27 Steelers. Thank you, Tom. Another Wombat says 28-14 Bengals win. Yeah, I think we're in the same area there. All right, guys, I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you for joining us here on Steel City Live and our live Pittsburgh Steelers post-game or pregame show. Don't forget to join us after the game, our Steelers live post-game show here on Mike Drop Sports. We truly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Until then, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop. Peace. Hold on, guys. Hit the wrong button.
Power takes an approach as a coach.
Let's go. Let's go. It's a field back block, and that's